I'm always telling people to know that you know that you know for yourself, because America has been so demoralized now that for the most part, it's just about people wanting power and wealth. They want attention. And so they're lying to you. They tell you anything you need to hear in order to get the power and the wealth. And this is the churches, the race hustlers, the government, the school teachers. It's hard to find honest, real honest leadership today, organizations and churches and others. It's because it's about lying to you now for power and wealth. And most people just fall for it. They just fall for it. For an example, we've been trained, I haven't, but most people have been trained to believe that Jesus is God. Even though when they believe it, nothing in their lives changed for the better. They feel good for a minute, but nothing changes. And then they go around repeating it because that's what they want to believe. They need to believe that now because they believed into it. So they go around saying it and repeating it only because they heard it from someone else. It's mind-blowing. Another example is men have been trained, men and women have been trained to believe that men are rapists and molesters and violent and all that. It's been so well ingrained into the minds of human beings that they easily believe it now. You don't even have to have proof. If a woman says it, they just assume that it's true. And then the media will show videos of a man with the Joe Biden situation, for example. There are people out there who are literally believing that Joe Biden, in some way or another, harassed women because he was hugging and kissing on them. And the media will get an accuser to say it, and then they'll show videos of it to convince you. Your mind, which is the mind of Satan, is telling you, oh, it's true, it's true, it's true. No proof from the woman at all. And by the media showing you that Joe Biden is kissing the women they have no problem with it when it happened because Joe Biden was on their side. They had the same agenda. And so now that they are not for Joe Biden, they're saying he is a molester. And the people are believing it. It's weird. They've been brainwashed to just believe it. No proof, no real proof at all. I suggest you wake up and realize what has happened to you, folks. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty. Women are not allowed to just accuse you. You can't question them, well, what did you do to cause it? Where were you? Why were you there? Where's the proof? That's not right. That's not the American way. And there are people who are just believing in this stuff because it was said. And those men who are falling for it and are going along with the brainwashing of the media and the brainwashing of these liberal women, they're coming for you too. Whenever it's convenient, they will be coming for you. For an example, it was women who taught men that when you see each other, you should embrace and kiss on the cheek. That's not a man's thing. Men at one time did not do that at all. But then the women started taking over, and women are very emotional, and they love to hug and embrace. If you notice, whenever you see a woman, what does she do? First thing, reach out her arms to hug and embrace you. Remember that? And now that they have convinced men to do it, now that when men see women, they hug and embrace. Now they're accused of being molesters when they want to destroy you. It's mind-blowing, folks. Mind-blowing. And so now they're going after, I mean, even in the churches. I remember when I moved to L.A. and I started going to the churches in L.A., they were teaching the Christian men and women to hug and embrace one another, all in the name of Jesus. Show love, hug and embrace. And now in those big churches, men and women all over the church hugging and embracing. Oh, praise the Lord. And now that they've taught you to do it, all of a sudden it's molestation when they get angry at you. You can't learn the ways of the women, man, and think you're going to be fine living that way. You got to go the man's way. You are the leader. You are the head of the woman. You are sons of God, and it's your responsibility to show them how to overcome it. Don't go in there with them. When a man gets married, he's not going into the woman's world, not normally. She's coming into his world, and his world is the light of the world, peace, perfect love, understanding, no anger. But because most men are so angry at beta males and light women, they don't know a difference now. And now that these women set you up, they are now accusing you. It's so weird how this has happened, but yet not weird because this world is a Satan owned the world, and his children are carrying out his work, and you're falling for it. So now Joe Biden is suspected to run for president. They're thinking that he's going to run, and he has a good chance of winning. As far as representing the Democrats, he's not going to beat out the Great White Hope. But as far as representing the Democrats, he has a good chance of winning, right? Winning, representing the Democrats. And they don't want Joe Biden to run for president. First of all, he's a white male. The Democratic Party now are about people of color. They want a colored woman or a woman or a colored man. They don't want a white man. Obama made that clear when he was in office. White people need not apply. Even Beta O'Rourke, when he first announced he was running, they really don't want him either. They want a woman or a colored person. Don't you see that? And so I'm wondering who is behind this thing against Joe Biden. All of a sudden, they are accusing him. And whenever they want to accuse, bring out the women. The women don't mind accusing you. Women would, not all of course, not all, but most, will destroy you and feel no pain about it. They will literally destroy you and feel nothing, or look you right in the eyes and get joy from seeing you suffer from it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And so now they're bringing out the women to accuse Biden. Isn't that amazing? Who is behind this? Why? This is out of nowhere, folks. Joe Biden was the vice president representing the Democratic Party. They loved him. That's why he was able to smell their hair everywhere he went. And they had no problem. Oh, that's so cute. And Joe Biden was so loved by the Democratic Party, he even lied to black people. They want to put you back in change. And the black people went, yes. And they voted for Obama. It's amazing. Now Joe Biden is the enemy because he's a white, straight male who has a chance to be nominated representing the Democratic Party. And somebody don't want it. And the best way to stop him is to accuse him of harassing women. Everybody go, oh my God, look at the picture. He's kissing, he's smelling their hair. They're not fighting against it. They're not saying anything about it. Pay attention, people. Think for yourself. Know for yourself. Overcome the fallen state. Overcome the brainwashing. Overcome it, folks. Do not fall for this. why are these women just now coming out all of a sudden? Just one woman, it happened 5 years ago. He smelled her hair, and all of a sudden she's upset about it. Why? Who is behind this? All of a sudden, Joe Biden is a bad guy to the Democrats. He's a white guy. He's a straight guy. He's not of color. He's not a woman. That's what they want. The Democrats. They don't want the best person. They want what they want. It doesn't have to be the qualified person. It has to be the politically correct colored person or a woman. Amazing stuff. Another woman came forward yesterday accusing the former Vice President Joe Biden of sexual misconduct. All of a sudden. Why? Who is paying for all this? Who is encouraging this man of doing this? Even that woman that, Joe, can you play that video of that woman that from Nevada that accused him? We played it yesterday. I want you to hear, even she mentioned Anita Hill, because Joe Biden was one of the ones to prove that Anita Hill was lying. He didn't fall for her lie way back then during Clarence Summers' days. So this is a payback to Joe Biden in part. But who is behind it? Don't you want to know who is behind it all of a sudden? This is from Breitbart. Second Biden accuser compares him to Franken. Urges against 2020 run. They're telling Joe Biden, you can't run because we are accusing you. An accusation is not enough to keep you from running for president. And even if Joe Biden had had sex with these women, they approved it, believe me. Otherwise, why wouldn't they have said something then? Be realistic, folks. Think for yourself. Don't fall for the lies from the media and the Democratic Party, the representatives, the rhinos. Here's that woman. What's her name? Flores from yesterday. Lucy Flores. 5 years later, I believe. Here's what she had to say about Biden.
Well, it happened also suddenly. It's, anyone who's ever been at a rally recognizes that there is just chaos. There's a lot of energy, that everyone's running back and forth. Eva Longoria was there. We were all lined up next to the stage. Eva was in front of me. Joe Biden was behind me. I'm kind of preparing myself to give these remarks. It's the very last days before the election. And very unexpectedly and out of nowhere, I feel Joe Biden put his hands on my shoulders, get up very close to me from behind, lean in, smell my hair, and then plant a slow kiss on the top of my head.
You're trying to wash your hair. Is there a part two to it? Here's part two of it.
And that in and of itself might not sound like it's a very serious thing. That in and of itself might sound like it was innocent and well-intentioned. But in the context of it, as a person that had absolutely no relationship with him afterwards, as a candidate who was preparing to make my case for why I should be elected the second in command of that state, to have the vice president of the United States do that to me so unexpectedly and just kind of out of nowhere, it was just shocking. It was shocking.
I bet. And if you believe that, I have some Kool-Aid for you in the Sahara Desert somewhere. It's sitting out there waiting. The illegal aliens are bringing it in. What? Okay. There's a woman by the name of, I don't believe that woman right there at all. Not one iota do I believe it. Who is behind this, folks? And just because, and believe me, I have nothing in common with Joe Biden. I don't agree with his politics. He's weak. He's beta. He's a Democrat. He uses people to get what he wants. But I can't believe these people just because they're saying this about him. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty. And these women don't mind lying. There's a woman by the name of Amy Lappos. a 43-year-old nonprofit freelancer, and she detailed her alleged encounter with Joe Biden in an interview with the Hartford Courant, where she said, "It wasn't sexual, but he did grab me by the head. He put his hand around my neck and pulled me in to rub noses with me. When he was pulling me in, I thought he was going to kiss me." Was that wishful thinking? That's my thought. You're like, oh, he about to kiss me. Oh, no, he just want to rub nose. According to Lappos, this incident happened during a fundraiser back in 2009 where she was working as a congressional aide for Democratic Representative Jim Himes. In another interview, and that was like 10 years ago, your child wasn't even born yet. These women are not allowed to do this. What's the purpose of it? In another interview with the Washington Examiner on Monday, Lappos said that Biden reminded her of Al Franken, who was a Minnesota Democrat who had to resign from the Senate back in 2017 after several women came forward alleging sexual misconduct. And this is the Al Franken thing all over again. Lying women. I just don't believe these women. You can't accuse men, and men can't accuse women without proof. In America, you're innocent until proven guilty. And because most men and women have been brainwashed by the media and those accusers over the years, everybody's just falling for it now. They tried to do this to Justice Clarence Thomas with that line, Anita Hill. And they tried to do it to Kavanaugh. Remember that? That old woman lied. No proof at all. But because they wanted to destroy him, they didn't care. The Hill is reporting from Nancy Pelosi, another sick person. Accusations against Biden do not disqualify him from running for president. Well, she's right about that. The Speaker of the House told reporters on Monday that a pair of allegations of inappropriate kissing and touching against former VP Joe Biden should not at all disqualify him from the 2020 race. And she's right about that part, even if she is sick. Back in a moment, folks. So this attack on Joe Biden, the Speaker of the House told reporters on Monday that a pair of allegations of inappropriate kissing and touching against former VP Joe Biden should not at all disqualify him from the 2020 race. This all come after a woman by the name of Stephanie Carter, the wife of former Defense Secretary Ashton Carter, highlighted a photo on Sunday that showed Biden with his hand on her shoulder. There it is right there. See that? Hey, what's wrong with that? Women, y'all need to make up y'all mind. Do you want hers or you don't? She said the photo had been misleadingly extracted from a moment at her husband's swearing-in ceremony, and that the former VP had been offering his support to her. I wouldn't pretend that this will be. I won't pretend that this will be the last of that picture, but that it will be the last of other pictures. It would be the last of other people speaking for me. Carter wrote in a post on Medium. You haven't heard the last of that. She's right about that. They're going to dig up everything they can find. And believe me, they're out there on the hunt now for women to accuse Biden. I can't believe anybody would believe this. You've been brainwashed, folks. And while this woman accusing Biden, they dig up all the pictures of Biden hugging and kissing and whatever, smelling hair. You didn't think nothing of it then. They didn't complain about it then. Why now? And who is behind it? And what are they up to? The media can trick you in any way they can. They can cut a film up or interview up. They can do whatever they want to deceive you. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.